So, you just saw Green Hell pop up on PS Plus, and you're wondering if it's worth sinking your time into this jungle nightmare. The first thing that hits you is the Amazon rainforest itself. It's gorgeous, dense, and absolutely unforgiving. Every little sound, birds, bugs, leaves rustling, makes you feel like you're not alone. Sometimes it's just ambience, and sometimes it's something worse. The environment is so well done that just walking around feels tense. You're constantly second-guessing whether to push forward or retreat to camp. Unlike other survival games where the world feels like a playground, here it feels like an enemy. The jungle isn't just scenery, it's an active participant in your struggle. You can almost hear it laughing when you trip, cut your leg, and get an infection because you forgot to check your bandages. This is where Green Hell really stands out. You're not just keeping track of hunger and thirst. You're managing nutrients, mental health, parasites, wounds, and even sanity. Get a worm in your skin? You'll need to cut it out. Eat the wrong plant? Say hello to food poisoning. Forget to rest? You'll start hearing voices and losing grip on reality. It's detailed, it's deep, and it makes every choice feel important. Eating random fruit isn't casual snacking anymore, it's high-stakes gambling. And the game never really holds your hand. You're left to figure things out the hard way, which means you'll probably die a lot in the early hours. Like, a lot. If you enjoy that steep challenge curve, you'll appreciate it. But if you're looking for something more forgiving, this game will chew you up and spit you out faster than you can craft your first spear. If you don't want to just mess around in free survival, there's also a full story mode. It puts you in the shoes of a researcher trying to survive and unravel the mystery of what's happening around the jungle tribes. It's actually more fleshed out than most survival games, with voice acting and a decent length. But here's the thing, the story isn't some Hollywood blockbuster. It's more like a background track to your suffering. You'll still spend most of your time bandaging wounds, crafting tools, and cursing at the jungle while the narrative slowly unfolds. Some people really enjoy the pacing, others feel it drags on. Either way, it's there if you want a guided experience instead of pure sandbox survival. When you finally start to get the hang of things, Green Hell rewards you in a way few survival games do. Building your first stable camp feels like a true accomplishment. Learning which plants heal and which ones try to kill you makes the world feel less random and more like a dangerous puzzle you're slowly solving. Co-op play adds a whole new layer too. Surviving alone is brutal, but surviving with friends is brutal and hilarious. Watching your buddy pass out from eating a poisoned dart frog or scream when a jaguar jumps out of the bushes never really gets old. It turns misery into comedy, and suddenly the struggle feels lighter. And then there's VR. If you've got the setup, Green Hell in VR is basically survival horror disguised as a sim. Crafting by physically moving your hands and looking down to see your wounds is terrifyingly immersive. Just be prepared for the difficulty spike to feel even more intense in VR. But let's talk about the stuff that might push you away. First up, the difficulty. Yes, challenge is part of the design, but sometimes it just feels punishing for the sake of it. One wrong move early on and your run is doomed. If you don't enjoy repeating the same early hours while you learn, you might rage quit before you ever see the good parts. Then there's the technical side. The game isn't broken, but it has never been the most polished survival sim either. You can run into weird bugs, AI acting funky, objects clipping, or occasional crashes. Performance on console versions, including PlayStation, isn't always silky smooth. It's playable, but don't expect perfection. Long-term variety is another sticking point. Once you've beaten the story and put dozens of hours into survival mode, you might start to feel like you've seen it all. The crafting and exploration loop is solid, but it doesn't endlessly reinvent itself. You'll either love the repetition of surviving day after day, or it'll start to feel stale. And maybe the biggest factor for 2025, new content updates have stopped. The developers moved on to a new project last year, so you're not going to see massive expansions or fresh modes rolling out anymore. They're still patching bugs, but the days of big updates are over. If you're hoping for a constant stream of new content, that's not happening. Here's the bottom line. Green Hell is still one of the most immersive, realistic survival games out there. The atmosphere, the depth of the mechanics, and the sheer tension of surviving in the Amazon are unmatched. If you're craving a hardcore survival experience and don't mind some rough edges, then downloading it on PS Plus is absolutely worth it. But if you're hoping for something easy, casual, or endlessly updated with new content, you're probably better off skipping. Green Hell demands patience, attention, and a taste for punishment. Without those, you'll just end up frustrated. And that's your Green Hell review for 2025. If you jump in on PS Plus, get ready for a game that's equal parts fascinating and frustrating. Survive smart, laugh at the chaos with friends, and never ever eat the first mushroom you find.